everyone, and welcome to Dive into Young Politics with Leah and Zahara. This week we have a special co-host, my good friend Christian Alvarado, who is joining us, and we're just going to talk about different issues that are happening around the state. Christian, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for everybody who is watching over Facebook or wherever you're listening or watching us from. My name is Christian Alvarado. I'm the electoral director for the Young Democrats of Michigan. That's actually where I know Zahara from. It was funny coming here today. Her and I were driving here, and we realized that we had never actually had like a really good, strong conversation before she was like, "Hey, can you fill in for Leah today?" Luckily, I have had some radio background. Back when I was in high school, I used to be on my high school radio station and hosted a few shows and called some football games for my high school. So this is nothing new for me, and I've been dying to get back on radio. So thank you so much for having me. And if you ever need more people to like fill in, please.
Well, we will definitely have you on sometime again as an actual guest, but I thank you so much for co-hosting with me today. So today, as I said earlier, we're just going to have like a general discussion about a lot of things that are happening in the political world and what issues that we do care about, and some of the stuff that YDM will be focusing on and what we need help with, and what we'd like to see moving forward. So one thing that just recently happened is we had our elections, our YDM elections, and we both got reelected.
Woo.
So yay. Do you want to talk a little bit more about what you do as the electoral director?
Certainly. So the main thing, the broad way of explaining it, how I do it for most people, I'm in charge of our endorsement process. The packet that goes out to any candidate, I'm going to either help or completely write it out. I'm going to be the one that they send it back to. If they want to get a copy of it, I'm the one that they're going to email. I find it to be really, really rewarding, and I like being able to shape the questions. Zahara probably already knows this, but I am a full socialist, and I like to try and push as many things to the left as possible. So being able to, control what goes on in the questionnaire and kind of leading the discussion when we all have a vote. Like, I like to make sure that everybody knows that, like, even though I'm in charge of the endorsement process, the entire executive board of YDM has a vote on who we endorse. So this is not just a one person, we all do it kind of thing. We are a democracy through and through. But like helping lead that discussion when we do have a vote, and try and pushing for as many progressive people as possible. It's a really rewarding gig that really happy that Leah got. And it came to me and said like, "Hey, can you do this?" a couple years ago. Definitely awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. And for people that don't know, when we first did the board of the Young Democrats of Michigan, most of us had not met before.
Nope.
We met on election day.
Yep.
We had a few discussions beforehand by phone, but yeah, I think the people who knew each other the most was probably Leah and I, because we had Dana's campaign together. But otherwise, we were all new basically to each other, and it took us a little while to get things in order and to...
Is that how you met Leah? I have no idea how you met Leah.
Oh, we never just...
really had too much of a conversation.
So Leah and I met, I was already helping on Dana's campaign. We used to go to the law office all the time that's like, where I used to phone bank and things like that for Dana in the beginning. Because like when I started on Dana's campaign, it was before like she really had much of a campaign staff or campaign manager or anything. Like it was when she was first announcing, when I met her at the Cannabis Council, and I was like, okay, I want to help on your campaign, and that's how I started helping. And then like the rest of his staff and things like that. So that's how Leah and I met. Was we were phone banking at the Cannabis Council, and we were just like, okay, like we barely talked to each other during those first few hours, and then we decided to take a smoke break.
See, that's how you get the best conversation. Just add a little cannabis to it.
Yep, exactly. So we smoked a joint, and we've been friends ever since. We ended up deciding like to run for YDM together when she decided to put a board together, and I was like, okay, I'll join the board and run with you. And then after that, it's just been, I don't know how much. That's too many at the same time. But yeah, that's how Leah and I met. It was just a conversation over a joint.
Wow. I kind of have somewhat of helping a lot of candidates, as many as I could. I wanted to get my feet wet, in any part of Michigan. So I was helping in Westland. I was helping in Detroit. I was helping in Plymouth, Canton, and then I started helping in Ypsilanti. And I was helping this long shot candidate that had a lot of good values, and I just wanted to see how far we can push him. And she was there. She was one of the first people I met when I walked into his campaign. It was his apartment, was his campaign office,
Okay.
and we had ourselves like a crazy conversation. I just remember it like got off the walls a couple times, and she just struck me as somebody who knew what she was talking about. And campaign. Sadly, the campaign never really worked out, and I left it to go help Mike McDermott run his state rep campaign, and that was a whole lot of fun. Love me some Mike McDermott. And I thought I'd never really see her again. Come to find out, maybe like, I think it was maybe March of 2019, she gives me a phone call and say, hey, can we meet at this coffee shop? I'm thinking about running for the Young Democrat. And